Go ahead, Golfer.
Hi, TWILA. What did you learn over the last couple days about this team, particularly having to face deficits in both games, and what pushed you forward?
Yeah, I don't know if I've learned anything I didn't already know about this group, but it's one thing to know these things and then to see it in action. But coming from behind, 2 games like back to back, it's impressive. It's hard to do. It's hard to score goals. It's hard in tournament setting. And I'm just really, really proud of the group. But this is the expectation. Something that we've historically said in the Federation is, we'll always find a way. And I think you can see there's a real belief that no matter what the situation is, we can overcome it. And ideally, we're not putting ourselves in these situations, but it happens sometimes. And I think this is really good growing moment and things that we can draw on in the future, both to prevent early goals and also to make sure that we know we're going to do game management in the future as we head towards a major tournament this summer.
Lakin. Sorry, Mike guy doesn't know who Lakin is.
It's okay. So you guys have now won back-to-back championships in a matter of, I guess, 2 months. As it pertains to the state of this team, when you took over like 6 months ago, is that, I'm sure that's what you expected would happen, but now that it actually has happened, as you hand the baton off to Emma, what does it mean just for the state of the program heading into Emma's tenure and the Olympics?
Yeah, I just think that, this team needed to regroup a little bit and focus on the things that we felt would get us ready and who we really are, get back to our DNA, and also make sure that we're evolving. So this team really wanted to evolve. Everything you see on the pitch is all credit to the players. We set goals after World Cup and wanted to make sure that we were evolving tactically, wanted to grow in a lot of different areas, and they've done it. But now we're just at a point where we are tried, true, battle-tested. This is 5 games back-to-back against teams that have qualified for the Olympics. There's only one more game. That puts you into a final, like for, context. And the team is ready. Change has been on the horizon for a long time. They understand that change is coming, and to do all of this with a lot of uncertainty, I just think they deserve so much credit for how they've operated, their professionalism, the way they've controlled the controllables, and even though everybody's excited for Emma to come and we're all ready for her, and we feel that's what we talked about a little bit in the huddle, like we're ready for a next phase, like we're ready and excited for the Olympics. It's hard, uncertainty is hard, and just all the credit to the players.
We'll go 1, 2, then 3.
Hi, TWILA. Meg Swanek from The Guardian. I'm wondering if you can talk about what your collaboration with Emma will look like in the next few months. Will you be able to pay her another visit to London? Will that happen remotely? Will she be caught up with Chelsea?
She is in a full-time job over there at Chelsea. I have visited a few times and spent a little bit of time with her. We'll continue to collaborate in the ways that it works for her. At this point, I would be on her schedule because I am no longer, in the head coaching position. But yeah, she's got a job to do, and I will help support from afar so that transition can happen smoothly. And, I'm hopeful for her that she goes all the way, and that means that her final is a few days before we report to camp, but we'll be ready. There'll be plenty of collaboration.
Hi, TWILA. Steph Young from The Athletic. You guys tried a couple different formations between these 2 games and then, a couple different scenarios. I'm sure you didn't plan to be a goal down, but, you showed a lot of fight back. I know there's always a million takeaways, but if you had to pick one tactical takeaway experimenting with different shapes in these 2 games, what would be a big one for you?
I think one thing the team has learned just as an evolution in this event is just how important the balance is to our shape. We can create that shape through a variety of different ways. We can play different systems. We can play different systems with different, made up of different players as well. The same system made up of different players, but just we have a better understanding of how important our balance is in our shape. Against Japan, we saw that if we created a scenario where basically whatever they took away, we had options. I mean, as simple as left, right, and split, but it's not that simple because the game is moving and evolving and teams are pressing in different ways. And today as well, I thought that when we went to a 3-back, we were very balanced. I thought once we sorted out after halftime where our pocket players were and making sure that we consistently had players in the pocket, the game changed for us. And that just comes down to basically creating our shape and getting into our shape as quickly as possible and then being dynamic in it. I think the team has really bought in on that, and it's definitely something that we'll carry forward with us.
Jeff Kasuf, ESPN. Sophia, with the 2 goals tonight again, it seems like she's really growing into multiple roles and aspects that you've asked her to play. What do those mean for her specifically and individually and continuing that scoring form?
Yeah, I think like the first goal is just class. Like, sometimes individuals just do special things. The way she was able to, it was a left-footed finish for Soph, just a really, in a crowded box, just exceptional individual moment. But also, like, there's a big team concept there. Like, right in the first half, we played a ball over the top. We earned a couple throw-ins back-to-back. We had them pinned in. We won the ball back, and now almost all of our players are in front. We've got a good shape. We've got width. And even with that width, I think she took on a few players in order to create that scenario. But just being a special player in a special moment within our team concept, which is really important. And then the second goal, I just think, was an amazing team goal. 2 passes forward is exactly what we talked about at halftime, finding somebody in the pocket, playing forward. I think it was Trin maybe that slipped the ball in, respecting the runner, Soph running hard, and still those aren't easy to finish. And I think that just shows a little bit of synergy between Trin and Soph, who haven't played that close together recently, but also just class finish from Soph. And we're just really proud of her. She can play multiple positions. She can score a variety of different type of goals. And she's doing great.
Brianna McKay, the Columbus Dispatch. Obviously, this was in Atlanta. Atlanta was like 50,000 people, but it's still a more intimate setting. How it was like playing here? What was the energy like going into penalty kicks?
Yeah, I mean, the entire time the stadium was just like going off. It was an incredible environment, and I think it helps a lot. The energy was really good. It felt like just really exciting on the sideline. Like I really enjoyed the game, and I enjoyed the fans, and walking up the penalties was unbelievable to hear USA chanting the entire time. But even walking up to the I guess inlet podium or whatever that was up there that we went and got the awards. Yeah. It's just incredible to see how invested the fans were in every single player. I mean, I could hear them calling out by name every player and just showing us lots of love, really strong.
Claire Watkins with Just Women's Sports. Now that this is the last game as interim head coach, is there anything that you've learned maybe about yourself as a coach through this process, having completed the job of going through the Gold Cup and now the SheBelieves Cup?
Yeah, I think like it just really takes everybody, and that was something that I set out to make sure everybody around me knew, like it was going to take all of us. And I think that was the right choice. I'm surrounded by just incredible people here. They're all professionals. They do an amazing job. And just being more inclusive of everybody in what we're trying to do every step of the way and allow them to play their part is just a big takeaway for me. And I kind of knew from the beginning that I thought the key for me to be successful, but it's not about me, it's about the team, was just to be myself, and I did, and that's not always the easiest thing to do so publicly, but started with the team and just really enjoyed it. And I think that's just maybe if there's anything I would want anybody else to take away from it, it's just be you and have no regrets and love every moment of it.
Let's go online. Jonathan Tannenwald, go ahead.
Thank you, Aaron. Congratulations, TWILA. Jonathan Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer. I want to go back to something you said a moment ago, and it's something that we've heard you say a few times. Everything you see on the pitch is all credit to the players. And I wonder how important it is for you to get that message across to them and to the public. We all know that everybody loves to put a ton of spotlight on the coaches and say the coaches can work all the magic and make everything happen, and so on and so forth. But how important is it for you to say, no, it's the players? And also, if I may, what do you think Lily Johannes and Eva Gartiner got out of this tournament, being part of it and getting to see the big time? Thanks.
Okay, the first question was credit to the players. Yeah, I just think everybody in a delegation like this has like a specific role, and it's all to support players, and it's our job to make sure they have everything that they need. You know, from a tactical standpoint, we go through every scenario that we think could happen, and we talk through all the what ifs, but ultimately they're the ones that make decisions on the field. And that's why we train the way we do, so they can go ahead and make the decisions. And then it's not easy to execute at this level, and they have to execute as well. And so when I say all credit to the players, I mean all credit to the players. And if you think about this, what this group in particular has done, like when I look back, I don't want to use the word holding pattern, but we had a little bit of like a pause in the first camp. And it was like, let's send off some legends in Pino and JJ. And this is a group that like took that, celebrated them, but also made sure to get everything they could off of them in terms of what they thought would help us and take our learnings. And then this group decided they were going to apply it. And every time we moved away from it a little bit, we would go right back to what we agreed upon when we debriefed. The group did, the players did. Coaches can't do that. The players bought in on that. And then we've layered little things in all along. It hasn't always been easy. It hasn't always been comfortable. But they've gone right back to our agreements. And that's hard to do. Like, not everybody's going to agree all the time. But once you make an agreement, we either worked to change what we were agreeing to do, or we went right back to what we agreed upon. And that takes a lot of vulnerability, responsibility, hard work. And it's this group of players that have done it. And even though I've been alongside of them and we've had great people around side of them, like I said, they dealt with uncertainty while trying to make a roster, while trying to win, while trying to onboard people, while saying goodbye to people, while recovering from a World Cup. And I just can't say anything more about these players. They're incredible.
Speaking of onboarding, Lily and Ava, what did they get out of it?
Yeah, I think they're right where they're supposed to be. They came in, they had a lot of onboarding, a lot of extra meetings. There's a lot of details that go into both positions that they play. They're positions that have a lot of responsibility defensively, but also a lot of responsibility in attack. They got into our environment. They're learning everything that goes on around the hotel, in classroom, and on the field. They made some valuable contributions, really difficult at practice, and making practice more intense in the areas that they were in. And they both have indicated that they felt like they have gotten a lot out of this. And I know they're both hopeful that they will be coming back. But this is a slow process. It's not something that needs to happen right away. It's all about taking care to make sure that they are properly onboarded and get exposure that they can take back to their club environments and continue to work on the things that will help them have success at this level.
Jade Garcia, go ahead.
Hey, TWILA. Yeah, as Aaron said, it's Jade Garcia from CNN. The cameras zoomed in on you after Alyssa Nair took her penalty kick, and you were standing there with just a massive smile, and it wasn't a nervous smile at all. So my two questions are, what was going through your head that very moment after Alyssa's penalty? And then separately, what are you most proud of about the team right now?
I can't quite remember the first question, but how I felt about Alyssa. I mean, it's incredible, you guys. Is it not incredible? I mean, nerves of steel, getting it done. By the way, I think she had 3 PK saves in the first time we played Canada, and scored the goal. And I think she just repeated that, and that's all in the matter of like 35 days or something like that. It's incredible. And no, I wasn't nervous. I also know that, you know, how I was going to feel about the game wasn't going to come down to one moment. And I had a pretty good feeling that she was going to deliver. But it's just incredible to watch and be here live and know how prepared she is. I mean, she is prepared for every PK that she could possibly face. And then what am I most proud of? Listen, winning is hard. Winning is hard. It's not easy. It never will be easy. And I'm just so proud of this group's ability to find a way within our DNA, find a way while trying to play our style of play and evolve our style of play. And I just love the sense of pride that we have in the team. Proud of who we are right now. Very proud of who we're becoming. We have a growth mindset. We're getting better. And like I said at Gold Cup, this team's just getting started.
All right, well, 10-1-3, not too bad. 2 tournament championships, 2 penalty kick shootouts. And the last question of the TWILA Kilgore era goes to Andrew Jones. Go ahead, Andrew.
Thank you, Aaron, for giving me that whole honor. Congrats to you, TWILA. Where will the medal go for you in terms of that medal that you're having? And what was your favorite part of the celebration since you were giving the table slap once the trophy was being lifted?
This will go in like a little thing that you put cupcakes on that has like the glass lid on it, which is where a few medals are in my house, and it just kind of sits over to the side. Most like the moment, I don't know, just maybe running into Pooley's arms. Philip Poole is one of our assistant coaches. He's been with me through the transition. We've been through everything together, things no one else will ever know about, and some things you can see publicly. And just
This is his last game.
This is his last game too. He's going on to be the head coach at the Carolina Ascent. And yeah, just locking eyes with him and knowing that we were going to get to go celebrate with everyone else. Just it's a moment I'll never forget.
All right, football medals and cupcakes. That's TWILA. Thank you, everybody.